All right, everybody. My name is X, and I'm from the BTGNC here in Chicago. And we have a list of demands that we wrote in response and inspired by the loss of TT Sofer in November, and we wanted to share them here tonight. We are here not to showcase our pain, though we will express it, but instead to make our demands audible to all our Black, trans, and queer family members. This is what the Black, trans, and GNC community needs right now. 1. Education on our issues. Pronouns are not enough. A massive project of education is needed to teach our employers, our neighbors, community members, and other activists about the oppressions faced specifically by Black, trans, and gender nonconforming people. We demand our people dedicate themselves to learning about Black, trans, misogyny, and the unique barriers that keep Black, trans people from living full lives. Employment. We support the fight for 15 and demand living wage jobs for Black, trans, and gender nonconforming people in all fields of employment, especially in leadership roles within organizations that claim to fight for trans issues. Safer spaces. Black, trans, and non-gender conforming people need inclusion in existing movement spaces, but we also need spaces of our own. We demand resources be allotted to projects and organizations run by Black, trans people for Black, trans people. Housing. We demand shelters and affordable housing designated specifically for trans youth and elders in neighborhoods in which they choose to live. Free and affirming accessible health care. We demand free, affirming accessible health care. We demand free access to hormones, needles, gender-affirming surgeries, STI testing, and all other basic health needs provided directly in the neighborhoods where we live. I said the neighborhoods where we live. We include in these free access to mental health services provided by other trans and gender nonconforming people, which view us as in need of healing, not fixing. Decriminalize sex work. Decriminalize sex work. We reject the criminalizing of Black, trans, and non-gender conforming people for choosing their own means of survival. We demand a decriminalization of all sex work. We include in this vision revoking the anti-sex trafficking laws disguised as feminist endeavors. Which target trans and cis Black women, resulting in incarceration. End solitary confinement. Solitary torture, not protection. We support the national prison strike, demand trans and gender nonconforming inmates stop being held in solitary under guise of safety, and that solitary be ended as a practice for all incarcerated people. Abolition now. Abolition now.
Abolition now.
Say it with me. Abolition now.
Abolition now.
We demand that to make these other demands possible, money be cut from police, prisons, detention centers, and the military, and invested back into Black, trans, and gender nonconforming communities. We demand that the police, prisons, and military be defunded, disarmed, and ultimately disbanded, replaced with resources that support Black and trans growth. We're going to end on this. Every time a trans person is murdered, it is an act of state violence, no matter who commits that act.
Damn right.
The legal stigma of sex work, the denial of housing and workers' rights, the shaming of those who love and are attracted to trans people, and the endless cutting of needed services all send the consistent message that Black, trans lives aren't worth protecting, aren't worth fighting for. We are here today to reject that message.